If you're planning to study or move abroad in 2025 or 2026, there are major changes happening right now in both Canada and the UK that you need to be aware of. These are not just small tweaks, they affect your visa process, your ability to bring family members, and even your chances of staying after graduation. So before you rush into the application, this is your chance to hear the real talk, the truth no one is really talking about. Let's start with Canada. For years, Canada was known as one of the easiest countries to get a visa for study, especially if you wanted to transition into permanent residency after graduation. But the story is shifting. In early 2024, Canada introduced stricter rules for international students. The first big change, a cap on the number of international students allowed into the country, especially targeting private institutions that were previously attracting thousands of students. Some provinces have been hit harder than others, and this had made it more competitive to get a study permit. But that's not all. The financial proof required to study in Canada has more than doubled. As of 2025, beginning of the year, instead of showing around $10,000, students now need to prove that they have at least $20,000 set aside, and that's separate from tuition. This is to make sure students can actually afford life in Canada. While the move makes sense for the government, for many students from developing countries, this is now a real barrier. There are also updates to post-graduation work permits. Once you completed your study at any designated learning institution, you could apply for a work permit. But now, some shorter programs or private schools don't qualify for that anymore. The Canadian government is cracking down on what they call visa mail institutions, and as a result, many students are left confused or worse, rejected. Now let's talk about the UK because they are not staying quiet either. Starting in January 2025, international students applying for most master programs are no longer allowed to bring dependents. That's right. Unless you're applying for a PhD or research based degree, you can't take your spouse or children along. The UK government introduced this as part of their wider crackdown on immigration numbers, and it has affected thousands of students, especially from Africa and South Asia. Even the right to work while studying has come under pressure. While students can still work part time, up to 20 hours per week, during the UK government is reportedly reviewing even that. They say it's to protect domestic jobs, but it makes life harder for international students who rely on those to survive. The graduate route, also known as the post-study work visa, is still available. This allows graduates to stay and work in the UK for 2 years after completing their study. But there's talk that this route may be reviewed or shortened in the future. So if you're planning to go in 2025 or 2026, keep your eyes on this one. Before I go further, subscribe to this channel. I share global opportunities for scholarship, remote job, and online income tip for every single week. No gatekeeping, just real value. In the next part of this video, we'll break down what these policy changes actually mean for your future and what smart strategies you can start applying right now to stay ahead. Now that we've seen how the UK and Canada are changing their policies, let's talk about what this actually means for you, the aspiring student, the digital hustler, or the career-minded dreamer hoping to go study abroad. The game hasn't ended, but the rules have definitely changed. So how do you win now? First, it's time to get strategic. With Canada tightening its rules around private college, you need to be extra careful about where you apply. Don't just go for the cheapest or quickest program. That might cost you more in the long run. Instead, target public institutions, universities that are eligible for PGWP, and programs that are in demand in Canada's labor market, like healthcare, tech, or skill trade. These are not only safer choices for visa approval, but also open doors to permanent residency if that's your goal. Also, don't underestimate the power of scholarship and funded programs. Many of the headaches international students face come from financial pressure, and that's exactly where fully funded scholarship can help you avoid this problem. Instead of stressing over how to show $20,000 in proof of funds, why not apply for scholarship that already covers your tuition, living expenses, and even flight ticket? That's why I regularly drop scholarship videos on this channel, because they are real and they can change your entire story. Now, when it comes to the UK, things might look tough, but there are still smart ways to navigate the system. If bringing your family is a major part of your plan, consider applying for research-based master's or PhD program. This still allows dependents. Another strategy is to go solo for your study and bring your family later. On the work visa or skilled workers route, it takes more planning, but it's doable. Also, focus on Tier 2 sponsor universities. These are institutions that after you graduate, that's important because not every school gives you the same post-student opportunity. And while we still have the graduate route, don't take it for granted. The UK is known to swift policy quickly, so grab your chance while it lasts. Let's not forget something important. Global competition is rising. Countries like Germany, the Netherlands, and even smaller nations like Ireland or Finland becoming popular study destinations, and many of them offer tuition-free education or English taught program. So keep your options open. The smartest application in 2025 and 2026 will be the ones who adapt, research deeply, and diversify their choices instead of putting all their hopes in one country. Before we wrap up, let me remind you, if this video has given you clarity or even just made you feel more informed, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is your plug for scholarship info, remote job platforms, and honest tips about digital opportunities. Thanks for watching. Now go make your future happen with facts, not fear.